Wanderers, an introduction. A vision of the human future in space. Herman Melville in Moby Dick spoke for wanderers in all epochs and meridians. He said, "I am tormented with an everlasting itch for things remote. I love to sail forbidden seas." To the ancient Greeks and Romans, the known world comprised Europe and an attenuated Asia and Africa, all surrounded by an impassable world ocean. Travelers might encounter inferior beings called barbarians, or superior beings called gods. Every tree had its dryad, every district its legendary hero. But there were not very many gods, at least at first. Perhaps only a few dozen. They lived on mountains, under the earth, in the sea, or up there in the sky. They sent messages to people, intervened in human affairs, and interbred with us. As time passed, as the human exploratory capacity hit its stride, there were surprises. Barbarians could be fully as clever as Greeks and Romans. Africa and Asia were larger than anyone had guessed. The world ocean was not impassable. There were antipodes. 3 new continents existed, had been settled by Asians in ages past, and the news had never reached Europe. Also, the gods were disappointingly hard to find. This zest to explore and exploit, however thoughtless its agents may have been, has clear survival value. It is not restricted to any one nation or ethnic group. It is an endowment that all members of the human species hold in common. Since we first emerged a few million years ago in East Africa, we've meandered our way around the planet. There are now people on every continent and the remotest islands. From pole to pole, from Mount Everest to the Dead Sea, on the ocean bottoms, and even, occasionally, in residence 200 miles up. Humans, like the gods of old, living in the sky. These days, there seems to be nowhere left to explore. Victims of their very success, the explorers now pretty much stay home. Better places will always call to us. But the lands we run to now have already been settled. Other people, often unsympathetic to our plight, are there before us. Our distant ancestors, watching the stars, noted 5 that did more than just rise and set in stolid procession as the so-called fixed stars did. These 5 had a curious and complex motion. Over the months, they seemed to wander slowly among the stars. Today, we call them planets, the Greek word for wanderers. It was, I imagine, a peculiarity our ancestors could relate to. We know now that the planets are not stars, but other worlds, gravitationally lashed to the sun. Since the advent of successful interplanetary flight in 1962, our machines have flown by, or orbited, or landed on more than 70 new worlds. We have wandered among the wanderers. We have uncovered wonders undreamt by our ancestors, who first speculated on the nature of those wandering lights in the night sky. We have probed the origins of our planet and ourselves by discovering what else is possible, by coming face to face with alternative fates of worlds more or less like our own. we have begun to better understand the Earth. But so far as we know, they are also, every one of them, desolate and barren. Out there are no better places, so far at least. In our time, we've crossed the solar system and sent 4 ships to the stars. But we continue to search for inhabitants. We can't help it. Life looks for life. I've tried to present more than one facet of an issue. There will be places when I seem to be arguing with myself. I am. Seeing some merit to more than one side, I often argue with myself. We first examine the widespread claims made over all of human history that our world and our species are unique and even central to the workings and purpose of the cosmos. We venture through the solar system in the footsteps of the latest voyages of exploration and discovery, and then assess the reasons commonly offered for sending humans into space. I trace how I imagine that our long-term future in space will work itself out.